Last year's Galaxy A51 was one of the best-selling Android phones of 2020, and today I have its successor, the Samsung Galaxy A52. I've been using this phone for the past day, and here are my initial impressions of this device. I have also uploaded an impressions video of the Samsung Galaxy A72, which you can check out from my card somewhere here. Okay, coming from last year's A series, the biggest change that the company's made is in the design language itself. This time, Samsung has gone with a smooth matte finish and a reworked camera module, which looks inspired from the company's own Galaxy S21 series. So yeah, it makes a unique statement for itself in terms of visual flair. And it also comes with some gorgeous pastel color options, making it one hell of an attractive looking phone. I'm also quite fond of its lightweight build quality. And with Holi just around the corner, the bigger design win of the Galaxy A52 has to be its IP67 dust and water resistance, which is something of a rarity on similarly priced smartphones. Overall, I think Samsung has really nailed the design side of things here, especially considering the phone's demographics. The display also sees a healthy upgrade. It has a 6.47 inches FHD Super AMOLED panel with a 90Hz refresh rate. As a result, browsing the web or scrolling through the UI has been a treat so far. The front of the phone has been protected by Gorilla Glass 5, which is good enough too. Still in all, it would have been even better if Samsung had included a much smoother 120Hz panel here, since you get the cheaper Redmi Note 10 series with higher 120Hz refresh rate screens. Also, unlike the variable refresh rate found on Samsung's flagship phones, this phone cannot dynamically adjust the screen refresh rate based on the content. Anyway, from what I can tell, this display looks excellent with great colors and contrast. The display can go up to 800 nits bright, so viewing content even in a sunny environment is not a problem. Likewise, you also get SGS certified eye comfort feature that goes easy on the eyes and makes looking at the phone at night a non-fatiguing experience. Okay, as expected, it comes with the Widevine L1 certification, so you can enjoy HD content from different streaming sites like Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. On top of this, A52 also has a stereo speaker setup, so watching shows and movies is quite enjoyable. You also get OLED-centric features like always-on display and an optical in-display fingerprint sensor here. And like always, Samsung's implementation of the fingerprint sensor is not that fast and requires a rather firm pressure to work. Instead of this mediocre biometric option, to be honest, I would have rather preferred a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. Now, for performance, the 4G variant of the Galaxy A52 comes with Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G SoC, although the CPU Z app mentions Snapdragon 732G. So it is plausible to assume that the phone ships with Snapdragon 720G in some regions, while there is also another Snapdragon 732G powered variant of the Galaxy A52 4G. This might be because in 2021, smartphone brands are feeling the heat of global chipset shortage. On a related news, citing the very same reason, Samsung has postponed the launch of its flagship Note 21 series till 2022. Anyway, compared to the Exynos 9611 in its predecessor, the Snapdragon 720G or the 732G chipset offers a major jump in performance. And what I can say for now is that things look pretty good here and Samsung has optimized it really well. Juggling through a couple of apps like Facebook, Chrome, Spotify, and Camera, the multitasking experience has not let me down. I also tried playing a couple of demanding games and the results were pretty satisfactory. Call of Duty Mobile plays smoothly at high graphics and max frame rates. On the other hand, PUBG Mobile is also playable at smooth graphics and ultra frame rates. With my limited time with the phone, I haven't gotten a chance to extensively test out its gaming capabilities, so for that, stay tuned to our full detailed review. In terms of memory, you can choose from either 4, 6 or 8 GB of RAM, while all of them share 128 GB of internal storage. The phone runs on One UI 3.1 based on Android 11 out of the box, and you might already know how much I adore this Android skin. From its dark mode implementation, customization options, to the Google Feed embedded home screen, it's good to see Samsung do so well in the software department. Besides, the company's commitment to provide 3 generations of OS and up to 4 years of security upgrades is an incredibly welcome move. With that out of the way, let's now talk about the cameras. Galaxy A52 features a similar quad camera setup like the A51, but with an upgraded 64-megapixel sensor. Likewise, you get a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, a 5-megapixel macro, and a 5-megapixel depth sensing camera. Apart from this, Samsung has been generous enough to include OIS on the primary camera this time around. Usually at this price, you only get EIS, so it's great to see OIS at this price segment. With that, its videos even at 4K resolution have good stabilization, but just like the A72, you don't have the option to click videos at 60 FPS. Images from the primary camera are classic Samsung stuff. They are punchy with plenty of details. Apart from the color science, the pictures have good dynamic range too. The ultra-wide-angle images, just like the primary ones, have punchy colors and good details. And although the A52 has a separate 5-megapixel depth sensor, its images are very similar to the A72, which does not have one. On the front, the 32-megapixel selfie shooter remains unchanged. However, the quality seems better here. The pictures have a slightly warmer color tone but look good nonetheless. Same goes with the portrait selfies as well. Hey guys, this is a selfie video from the Samsung Galaxy A52 at 4K 30 FPS. Just like the A72, you don't get a 60 FPS option here. The colors are looking good though. The exposure seems to be maintained well. I don't know, what do you guys think about it? Do let me know in the comments. Now getting to the battery, Galaxy A52 comes with a bigger 4500 mAh cell with support for 25-watt fast charging, which is a decent upgrade over the 4000 mAh and 15-watt charging from the A51. However, unlike the A72, Samsung only ships with a 15-watt charger inside the box on the Galaxy A52. So that was all for my early impressions of the Samsung Galaxy A52 4G. With its revamped design and upgraded internals, this definitely is a healthy upgrade over the Galaxy A51. It is going to be interesting to see how it competes against the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max and the Realme 8 Pro in terms of cameras, which I feel is one area where the A52 might have an edge. But for that, me along with my team will be testing it further and we'll come up with the full review of this device, so stay tuned for that. Till then, I'm Pratima Adhikari and thank you so much for watching.